Hello friends, welcome to the next session of knowledge representation. In the previous lecture, we saw the steps we need to follow to convert any WFF into a normal form, right? Today we'll talk about one of the normal form, that is premix normal form. And the steps what we have learned in the previous lecture we'll be using here, right? So what is premix normal form? Premix normal form is whenever a statement is given, which is in WFF form, all the quantifiers in that statement should be put at a prefix level, right? All the quantifiers are removed out and put at the prefix of the statement. Then the statement is in Phoenix normal form. The concept will be more clear as we go through the examples. Let us look at the algorithm first. So what is the first step? Eliminate all occurrences of implication and biconditional connectives from the predicate logic statement, which is in well-formed formula. Okay, which is in the form of well-formed formula. Now, this is the first step what we already seen in the previous video. Now, next is what? Move all negations inward such that in the end, negations only appear as part of the literals. Fine. Before going through this video, I expect you all to go and check the video what I uploaded related to the steps to convert a statement into normal form. Now, standardize the variables apart. The pre-next normal form can now be obtained by moving all quantifiers to the front of the statement. So all these steps will be following and concept will be more clear as we go through the examples, right? Let us look at an example and see how we can convert it into pre-next normal form. Okay, now this is a WFF what is given. What it says, for all x, P of x implies there exists x, Q of x, right? Now, what our statement says, what the algorithm says, the very first thing is eliminate implication and biconditional connective. Now, we don't have biconditional connective, but we have implication connective. And if you remember, how do you eliminate the implication connective is by replacing it with a negation and or operator. Replacing it with negation and or operator. Now same thing here. Now what we are doing is for all x, we are putting a negation of for all x, p of x, and we are adding a or operator or connective here. There exists x, q of x. Is it fine? What we did, we eliminated this by adding a negation and an or operator. This is our step 1. Now, step 2, what we are doing? Move negation inward. The negation which is associated with the quantifier, what we need, it should be associated with a literal. So we need to move this negation inward. Now, whenever you are moving a negation inward, we have a set of rules what we should know. Now, whenever the negation is applied to for all x, it gets converted to there exists x. Right? When you're moving this negation, and it is associated for all x, it becomes there exists x and negation of it. The same thing we apply here. Now negation is associated with for all x, it gets converted to there exists x and negation is moved inside associated with the literal. Is it fine? Rest everything is same. Negation of p of x or there exists x qx. Now here we are applying reverse distributive law so that there exists x can be taken outside, right? So what you can observe it clearly here, there exists x and there exists x is common in between. So if you just remove it out, then it will be negation of p of x or qx, right? So this is what we have done here. We have taken there exists x as a, that is your existential quantifier, which is common. We have taken it out and putting a bracket here. We have negation of p of x or q of x. Now, if you look at it carefully, the quantifier is outside and this statement is now in the Phoenix normal form. Is it fine? What we did? We eliminated the implication connective, replaced it by and or. Then we moved that negation inside. So when we're moving it, for all x gets converted to there exists x. right? And then the next statement, what we did is we took there exists x, that is our existential quantifier x outside as a common, right? And you got the statement converted into a Prenix normal form, where quantifiers are at the prefix and rest is the matrix which does not contain any quantifier. I hope little bit of it is clear. Let us look at another example to make the concept still more clear. Okay. Now this is our WFF. What is given? The statement you can say for all x, for all y, right? There exists z. Then we have p of x comma z and p of y and z implies there exists u, q of x, y and u. Look at the statement carefully now. The best part of the statement is for all, that is your universal quantifiers are already outside. You don't need to bother about them, right? What is the premix normal form? All the quantifiers should be outside at the prefix level. Now, universal quantifiers are already at the prefix level. Now we need to concentrate on existential quantifiers, right? We need to concentrate on existential quantifiers. Okay. Now for all exist, for all x and for all y, that your universal quantifier scope is given in the square bracket, right? This is the scope of universal quantifier for all x and for all y. And the scope of existential quantifier, that is for some there exists z, it is given in the round braces. The scope is given in the round braces, right? And it is limited to this. I hope it is clear. The scope is clear. Universal quantifier scope is given in the square brackets and existential quantifier scope is given in the round braces, and here it is only limited to Q. Okay. What is the first step given the statement? First step is what? Elimination of implication connective, right? How do we eliminate it? We eliminate it by adding a negation and an OR operator. We eliminate it using a negation and an OR operator, right? So negation of there exists z, then p of x comma z and p of y and z, yz, or there exists u, q of x, y and u. Okay, so implication is replaced by negation and or connective. Now what is the next step? Next step is moving negation inward. Now negation is associated with a quantifier, and what is our motto? It should be associated with a literal. So when you move it, now whenever negation is associated with a quantifier, if it is associated there exists z, it gets converted to for all z. And if it is connected to for all z, it gets converted to there exists z. Is it fine? So to move the negation inward, there exists z gets converted to for all z, and its scope is given in the flower bracket, flower braces, right? Negation is moved inward now. Okay, so now it is negation of p xz and p of yz, or there exists u, q of x, y and u. Is it clear? Moving negation inward. Now what we'll be doing is, now we'll apply De Morgan's law. Okay, now we apply De Morgan's law, so negation will move still inward. So negation of p x comma z, x, y, x and z. Now whenever you're moving it inward, see, AND operators gets converted into OR operator. AND operator gets converted to OR operator, right? So again, negation of p xz and negation of p yz. This part remains as it is. Is it clear? So what we did here, the very first thing, we checked the scope, then we eliminated the implication connective. To eliminate the implication connective, we added negation and OR operator, right? Now negation is associated with the quantifier, and when you're moving this negation inward, there exists quantifier gets converted to for all z, right? After doing this, we are moving using a De Morgan's law, and by applying De Morgan's law, the negation is moved still more inside, and operator gets converted to OR operator. So negation of P here and again or negation of P here. Is it fine? Okay. Now I want you all to look at it carefully. If you look at the statement carefully, for all Z, the scope of for all Z is limited to this bracket. Scope of for all Z is limited to this bracket. I hope it is clear. That is negation of P xz or negation of P yz, right? And scope of there exists U is limited only to Q. Scope of there exists U is limited only to Q. So this universal quantifier has a variable Z associated with it. There exists the existential quantifier has U associated with. If you look at this, in the scope of this universal quantifier, you don't have any U here. The variable of there exists U is not here. And in the scope of there exists U, that is existential quantifier, you don't have Z here. Is it fine? That means these two quantifiers are independent. U does not come in the scope of universal quantifier, and Z does not come in scope of existential quantifier. Is it fine? They are two independent quantifiers. So removing them outside, taking them out will not affect the formula, right? So the next step is what? We are taking these quantifiers out, but when you take them out, you maintain the order also, right? That is for all Z comes first and there exists U comes next. So now for all X, for all Y, for all Z, there exists U. Now your negation of P X comma Z or negation of P Y Z or Q X Y U. Now this statement is in Prenix normal form. You see all the quantifiers are outside as a prefix followed by the matrix which does not contain any quantifier. I hope the concept is little bit clear. We have applied the same steps again, but in the previous one we had applied reverse De Morgan's law. Here we have applied De Morgan's law. Let us look at one more example, the last example. Okay. Now, for all x, there exists y, r of xy, and for all y, negation of s xy implies negation of there exists y, r of xy, and p. This is a WFF given and you need to convert this statement into Prenix normal form, right? So what we'll concentrate on, does it has any implication or biconditional connective? So it has an implication connective, so we'll eliminate it. Again, I repeat, to eliminate this, what we'll do, you'll be adding a negation connective and an OR operator. So we are adding a negation connective here and an OR operator. Is it fine? Negation and OR operator. So implication is eliminated. Now, what is the next step? Next step is move all negations inward. Now, again, the previous example also we have seen there exists y will get converted to for all y. Negation is moved inside, right? And operator gets converted to OR operator. And here negation of s. So again the same thing. When you apply again negation, it becomes negation and negation of s. This negation gets cancelled and it is only s. So negation of s now here becomes only s. Is it fine? Now here again when you're moving the negation inward here, there exists y gets converted to for all y. Negation is moved inside at r and is converted to OR and it is negation of P. I hope it is clear. Moving negation inward. Okay. There exists gets converted to for all, that is existential quantifier gets converted to universal quantifier When you're moving the negation inward, AND operator gets converted to OR operator. Negation gets cancelled and it is only S here now. And now universal, okay. Now you have existential quantifier again getting converted to universal quantifier and negation of Rxy or negation of P. That is N gets converted to OR. Fine. Moving negations inward. Now, after moving all the negations inward, now you need to standardize the variables apart. Right? Now, when you're standardizing the variables apart, look at them again carefully. You have, what is standardizing the variables apart means each quantifier should have a unique variable associated with it. Now, if you look at the quantifiers, you have this universal quantifier with X, this universal quantifier with Y, right? Again, existential quantifier also has Y, universal quantifier also has Y. So what we want, each quantifier should have a unique variable associated with. So how we do it? We rename these variables, right? So here, for all Y is replaced by for all Y1. There exists Y is replaced by there exists Y2. For all Y is replaced by for all Y3. Is it fine? So in standardizing, what we are doing, we are renaming the variables associated with the quantifiers such that each quantifier will have a unique variable associated with it. Similarly, when you change the variables, change is reflected everywhere. Y gets converted to Y1, Y here gets converted to Y2, and Y here gets converted to Y3. Is it fine? Now, all variables are standardized now. After standardizing the variables, now what? Now move all the quantifiers in front. So when you move all the quantifiers is for all X, for all Y, there exists Y2, and for all Y3. All quantifiers are moved on ahead, and then you have the rest of the formula, right? There is negation of R X Y1 or S X Y2 or negation of R X Y3 or negation of P. So this is the prefix and this is the matrix. All the quantifiers in front of the formula. So this statement is in Prenix normal form. I hope the concept is clear. Go through the examples again and again. Try to solve them without seeing. The concept is simple and it's very clear. It is one of the simplest normal form, I should say. I want you all to practice. In the next lecture, we'll talk about disjunction normal form. Till then, go through it. And before going for disjunction normal form, see to it that you all go through this video. Thank you. Stay home. Stay safe.